Hi, welcome to Denbigh. Today we're exploring Denbigh railway station, as it was then and as it is now.
Oh, look at it.
Okay, this is the top of the bridge. The train went straight past us here, straight across and straight down there towards Ruthin, towards Ruthin, and eventually to Corwin. If the railway went that way, the main road into Denbigh, Vale Street, was up there. Of course, the bridge abutments there, they're still here. Never be knocked down, I suppose, never fall down. You look at the structure now, still used to this day, bizarrely by photographers who they see the value of the architecture here. And let's face it, there's a little bit of old Britain still around, isn't it? Other features do remain, such as these steps that led into the railway area, into the station yard. Still used to this day, very much used. If you need any other evidence that there was a railway here at one time, look at the pub sign there, the railway. Right above my head now was the bridge that the trains would go across. From there all the way down. The old track came right down this road. It's all the way round as far as Brookhouse, as far as Hrell, down to Ruthin, and eventually ended in Corwin.
Chester, many times we used to go down to the rail. The train was a form of transport, wasn't it? And you used to go on the train and that's it. Yeah, he's been as well. And David was, we all went on the train.
Yeah. For like a day trip?
Yeah, well we used to go, when another go shopping, if you were going shopping you'd go, yeah. You know, it wasn't every weekend, but you'd go. Yeah. So.
Your dad worked on the railway?
Yeah.
He actually worked on the railway, your father?
He was the signal man here for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet you missed it when it closed.
Did for a while, find another job. There's a lot of people worked on it. It was a big employer in its time, wasn't it?
Railway, it goes together, doesn't it?
Yes.
Right.
Right.
We've got the railway pub, and that's presumably named for the railway, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of drunken train drivers in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, I'm sure. Now then, do you
Well,
think...
there was, don't we? We've got to watch Scott Johnson's still alive. Yeah.
What you said.
Well, listen, the remains, the platform, where that shed stands is part of the platform still there. That's all. The old tower is in our place, that's still there.
The old tower, we noticed that
knocks
feature.
it down, yeah.
That's intact, is it?
Yeah, more or less intact. It is
intact.
intact. It is intact.
Yeah.
But
And
we
what
were
was
told
the tower?
it was the water tower for the trains in the early days, before they had pumped water from. I think they got the water from West Hog. I think the railway water wasn't town water; it was the West Hog water. I think so. Yeah, they did everything separately.
Station yard, it's now basically deserted, but it's interesting to think that many years ago, all those years ago, people were walking back and forth along here to the railway, forwards and backwards, you name it, they were walking it. But now, as you can see, it's utterly and totally deserted. totally deserted by people. The railway line actually came from straight down there, over my shoulder, straight over my shoulder, down to Rhyl, separates just there, one to Mould, one straight on to Rhyl. You see there the house in the middle of the roundabout, big feature. What's surrounding it? It's the old railway wall. Evidence of the railway is still all around us. Okay, Nerys. I'm with Nerys here, who remembers something about the railway down in this area. Tell us about it, Nerys.
There was an old railway bridge a little bit further down the line there, which runs at the back of my house. And there was also an old railway bridge by Townsend that was pulled down some years ago. I remember them dismantling it.
Excellent. Yeah. Now then, we're in Denbigh, but you're actually a Ruthin girl, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
And the railway did go down to Ruthin.
It is.
Any memories of that?
Only going on a train with Mum when I was quite little. They weren't actual real memories, it's just what I was told. I used to run to Rhowell between, we lived in Rhowell at the time.
Oh.
So that was about it really.
Yeah. Pity we didn't have a railway here today, isn't it? Fantastic, wouldn't it?
It would be fantastic, yes, yeah. But we had to travel, don't we, down to Rhyl, unfortunately, so
Okay.
yes.
Well, thanks for that.
All right, you're welcome. I don't know whether you're going to get anything out of them.
The railway was opened here December 1860. Down there, as we've seen, is Vale Street. So up here, this is the northern side of Vale Street. This is where the railway was established, and it was under the Vale of Clwyd Railway Company that it was established, and it finally closed 30th of April 1962. That was actually for passengers, and it finally closed its doors as a transport system in 1964, 2 years later. That was under British Rail, the London and Midland region. And as you've seen, most of the railway now has been demolished. One or two platform edges remain, but to all intents and purposes gone and forgotten. We've just been talking to a couple of youngsters down there, and they said, what are you doing? And I said, well, we're filming the railway. And they said, what railway? And one of the youngsters pointed at the pub. But of course, the railway was here before the pub. It's a bit political here, but many of the towns lost their railways and they've never been the same since. That saw the start of Denbigh changing its importance. The town of Rhyl was a huge resort, an international resort in the 60s. And of course it retained the railway, it still does today. And that gives it still a very big importance. Of course, Denbigh was a junction. We had trains coming from Mould, from Corwin, as we've seen, and of course from Rhyl. So towns like Mould and Corwin, they also suffer. Ruthin, they also have had to suffer with that. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, and keep watching, and good luck to Denbigh, good luck to you. Bye for now.